408 first arrived in Ireland in 2023, and this year it's had a refresh to the lineup. So there's an all new electric E408 with a range up to 453 kilometres, and then this brand new petrol hybrid that effectively replaces the old 1.2 petrol with more power and greater efficiency. In fact, it's one of the most efficient cars I've driven this year, and certainly raises the question of if you actually need diesel anymore if you do a lot of motorway miles. More on that later when I will reveal all the real world efficiency figures for this car, and I think you'll be really surprised. So please stay watching. I'm Caroline and this is the Carzone YouTube channel. The 408 is a quirky one, so it's not quite a saloon, but it's not an SUV either. Now Peugeot would like us to call it a fastback, but to me it's just a big car. And in Ireland we like big cars, don't we? Maybe a more glamorous Skoda Octavia kind of vibe going on with this. It is a very good looking car. You've got this flamboyant grille, sharp LED lighting, and it hasn't been facelifted yet, so it still has its fang-like daytime running lights, which I really like. It gives it a very distinct road presence. Under here there's a 1.2 petrol hybrid setup, more on that later. In this Allure spec it starts from about €39,000 and from about €43,000 for the GT. From this angle you can see that it does sit higher off the ground than your average saloon or hatchback, so it gives those crossover vibes, as does this cladding around the wheel arches. Peugeot doesn't really do a base spec anymore, so they all come with 19-inch alloy wheels. This is the Allure design, and there are 5 colours to choose from. I love the back of this car. It's so dramatic and so stylish. Definitely some coupe-like aspirations in this as well, with the sloping of the roof line. These are what Peugeot call little cat ears. This is the Lion brand after all, and those actually help the aerodynamics of the car, how the air flows over the back. There is no wiper here on the rear screen, and that is a bit of an issue because on a dewy morning in September, water does gather there and I would like to be able to sweep it away. Now this black plastic does upset some reviewers. It doesn't upset me, but if it is an issue for you, if you get this car in the black metallic, it's less obvious. But altogether, a really stylish and standout car. Good news, the hybrid is the best for boot space. So you get 536 litres. For reference, a Skoda Octavia hatch is 600 litres, but this is still a really good space because it's a hatchback opening. Really good access to the space as well. There are a few tie down points. There's a 12-volt socket. No levers to let down the rear seat, so you will have to go around to do that. But overall, I think it's a really practical boot. One of the most surprising things about the 408 is the amount of legroom on offer. Could definitely give the Skoda Octavia a run for its money. Headroom is not quite so generous, so I have about that much extra, so 6-footers could find themselves touching the roof, but children should definitely be fine back here. There are some amenities, so you do have pockets in the back of those seats. There's 2 USB-C ports, there's vents, armrest with cup holders and a little hatch that opens through to the boot. So very comfortable and spacious back here. It's beautifully finished inside. It feels very sophisticated and very sporty in the way this wraps around you. It's good quality, what's in front of you, and also these gorgeous seats with this little bit of mint stitching. It doesn't get the panoramic screen of the 3008, so this is an older cockpit arrangement. The compact steering wheel, which you look over at the full digital driver display. But I still like this arrangement. However, it doesn't always work for everyone. Not everybody feels that they can get a comfortable driving position with this. I do find that I have the steering wheel a little bit lower than what I usually would. So it is one where you should definitely try before you buy. Then you get this very sophisticated looking touchscreen in the centre. A lot of reliance on touch control for this, so things like the ventilation controls are all in the screen. But you do have some shortcut buttons underneath and also these eye toggle switches, so you can customise these to your favourite features. I do find the native system is a little bit laggy and unresponsive as I'm moving through menus, but the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto work seamlessly. Allure comes with all the digital tech, a reversing camera, cruise control, keyless entry, but no heated seats or steering wheel, so I probably would upgrade for those things. You do have wireless smartphone charging. There's a 12-volt socket, there's a USB-C port, 2 cup holders, little space for keys, and a big cubby down here. So overall, it is a really nice place to spend time. When this first came out, it was available as a plug-in hybrid and also a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder petrol with 130 horsepower. And in fairness, that was quite a modest sized engine for a big car like this, and it could get very loud under hard acceleration. Well, this one is a massive improvement. So you do get this hybrid assistance from a small capacity battery, but also an electric motor. It is a bit more than a mild hybrid as well, because it can run on electric alone when you're in town, for instance. So if you're driving in traffic, if you're really gentle with that accelerator, you can propel the car on without using the engine. So that obviously helps the overall efficiency. And then there's a little readout here on your driver display that shows you how much time you have spent in electric. Now this has got 145 horsepower, so more power than that previous 1.2 petrol engine, which makes a big difference as well. It's very smooth and responsive to drive. You've got this 6-speed automatic. It all works together really nicely. 0 to 100 is 9.4 seconds, so it's not going to win any drag races, but it's lively enough, particularly if you pop it into the sport mode where you just get that extra little burst of acceleration. Motor tax for this is €190 per year, but what about that fuel economy? Well, I did a test with this, so I reset the trip computer and I went out and did a cruise on the motorway, and I saw as low as 4.4 litres per 100 kilometres, which is absolutely brilliant. That's better than some diesels. Then I reset it again, I did a bit more driving, I did town and city, rural roads, motorway, and it's sitting at 5.1 litres per 100 kilometres, and that's actually the official economy figure from Peugeot. So all I can say is bravo, because they have done a remarkable job with this. So it is nice to drive, it's powerful, it's efficient, but you also don't have to plug it in. So there's a certain convenience to a hybrid like this. Otherwise, it's really nice to drive. So it is based on the 308's platform. It has a longer wheelbase and it has a wider track, so the distance between those two front wheels. So it gives us this real planted feel on the road as you're cornering. It's not quite as sporty as the 308, for instance, but it's still a good driver. Out on the motorway, it cruises well, but it does get quite loud from road noise. That depends on the type of tarmac you're driving over as well. But also comfort-wise, it does have a firmish ride, and certainly when it settled down to a cruise, I noticed that little bit of firmness underneath me, that I could feel the road underneath me. So just something to be aware of. Something like a Skoda Superb or a Citroen C5X, which is closely related to this, it's just a bit more softer and cushioned underneath you. But it's still, look, it's a great car, and I feel like this petrol hybrid gives the 408 a new lease of life. It's efficient, it's smooth, refined, and just that convenience factor as well of not having to plug it in. The good news is that the new Peugeot 408 hybrid is a big step forward in terms of refinement and efficiency. There is of course the electric one of these, but you mightn't be ready to make that switch to electric. You mightn't have the facilities to charge. So this is a great option. It's easy to live with and it's very convenient. A few little downsides I noted road noise at high speeds on the motorway, and it also has quite a firm ride quality when you've settled down to a cruise. But I think it makes up for it with this big boot, the quality of the interior, and just how stylish it is. So if you're looking for a big car that's not an SUV but still has a lot of presence and attitude, I think this is a great option. If you're looking for your own Peugeot 408, head over to carzone.ie and you'll find lots of great cars for sale there from trusted sellers. Please give this video a like and hit the subscribe button to see more car reviews like this. Let us know what you think of the new 408 in the comments. Would you choose this, or would you go for the electric, or maybe something else? Do let us know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.